Peace, 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 everyone. How are y'all feeling? How are y'all doing? We're going to give it time for people to come in. All right. Hey, welcome back, my beautiful sister. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Cheers to a new day, a good day. It's one of those days because y'all know normally it'll be water. Hey, baby. Cheers. Yeah, I just felt called to come on live. Not really sure what the discussion is going to be. I know I will be pulling some cards. Essentially, it's all along the lines. Yeah. It's all along the lines of like really digging in yourself and like shining your true light, being your authentic self without expectations of receiving like reciprocation or anything from anyone else. But just expressing gratitude for the human experience throughout the process of you being a pillar of light through the expression of your authenticity. That in itself causing massive ripples. Girl, them eyes tell it. Yeah, man. Eyes are the windows to the soul. Do you want to come on live? I want you to come on live with me. I was going to ask that already before, but I was like, are we doing that? I guess I'm just flowing. I can pull a card for you if you want. The council just came out, so I guess the council approves. I just had it, and the gatherer. The council approves with the number 11. Bringing the master the master intuitive entity within yourself to come up to the surface. This is your spiritual council of the highest order that is ordained over your life, your experience, to assure your rites of passage with safety, right? To honor your free will, but also to intervene if they are asked to intervene or needed to intervene, if it is a life or death situation, right? That's the only time. Really? Yeah, you can. So come on. So council is saying like, yeah, this was divinely guided. 11 is, the one that is super intuitive. So trust your intuition, trust your guidance at this time. Flow with it. Don't go against the current. Like really allow yourself. I opened the book to page 38, which is also another 11, which is interesting. You might be seeing a lot of 11s or 1s at this time. I am going to read what it says because it's like kind of juicy. It's short. But essentially, I'm gonna leave I was gonna put it back, but I kind of feel like I need to leave the council card out. I feel like this for some of you, I'm gonna leave it out. For some of you or some of us, right? It can be as simple as just trusting in our guidance, in our heavenly guidance, and like going with the flow and not really being hard on yourself if you're not doing like your everyday routines, because you might be in a transition of doing new routines. Essentially this could also be that your life is reconstructing itself and reestablishing itself. Hola, love bug gift shop. That's my boo right there. Please be sure to check her out and go follow her. But going back to the message where, some of you might be, y'all are really being called to just be naked in your truth so that you could reestablish a found. And I keep wanting to say reestablish instead of establish. So this could be reconnection for some, but it really just feels like starting over a new foundation. Like it is new um in connection with like your soul tribe. So you might be meeting, okay. So you might be meeting new people, but it's reestablishing that connection and that relationship, because to your soul, they're not new. But to your human experience, they can be new. So it's reestablishing that connection with your soul tribe and with your spiritual gifts, with, just the ancestors within. So like really just tapping into your own darkness and your, the past of your lineage, and how can you turn those sorrows into victory, into joy, just essentially raising up your own vibration, and rather than hoarding onto other people's energies, or even hoarding onto your own self-depleting and self-deceptive, self-destructive tendencies and behaviors. You might be reestablishing a new foundation within yourself, which is why they're saying like be easy on yourself if you need to take that like little time of rest, but don't ignore the call to action, because we are in a space of call to action. And essentially it's going to come through your intuitive hits, through your intuitive messages, because it is coming from your like star council, is coming, your celestial connections, if you will, because we are multidimensional beings, and there's a version of yourself that's so far big and grand that is bigger than this body, and essentially it sees and knows all things. And there might be something that you may not be seeing or knowing at that time specifically, but it is now time for you to know and see, and these things are coming to you for you to embrace them. And so it might require you to like trust your intuition and jump on something a little bit spontaneously. Like, for example, I wasn't gonna go live, and my intuition was like, yes you are, you're going on live. And so sporadically I was like, oh well, I guess I'm going on live, and I trusted in my intuition, and here I am, and I'm sitting in the seat of my throne through my authenticity. And essentially that in itself will magnetically attract who it's supposed to magnetically attract, and it'll be in divine alignment with theirs and I's highest purpose, if because that's what my authentic energy wants to magnetically draw in at all times. That's just what it is. Everything essentially is always working out in my favor. And so if it's always working out in my favor, just trusting in the process. And I say that, I guess, as an affirmation for whoever may be going through this like reestablishment. It could be even as simple as like maybe you have a business and you're expanding this business, and through this expansion you're going to be reestablishing some, again, how can you reestablish a new connection? Because it's not a new connection to your soul. It's a new connection to that experience. And so, you're just going to be building onto your establishment. And, there might be some things that you are going to bring in for a while. And so that could be part of the reestablishment. And they want specifically. Peace, sis. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey.
All right, I see. Yes, it's still sunny outside.
I had just gotten a plate of food, and I was like, "Oh, is that what's happening now?" Okay. Let me eat this food real quick.
Ready to eat it.
Yeah. Your download, and I'm thinking about the last 2 days and what I felt like I had to talk about. I get it. So you're either on new newly awakened or you're with, your seasoned crowd, whatever, but you are called to action. There is no not doing it.
It was the polarities that just came in, like, of when I saw the 11, like, timeline jumping back and forth, and, like, that's where the reestablishing is. There is no, like, past and future. It is all happening now at the same time, but as it's happening now, certain things, I guess, have to, like, it's ordained to be reestablished. It's ordained to kind of be moved. I guess, I don't know. It's
because
just,
you
that's
have
what I
to make
came
those
to.
decisions again. You gotta like recommit, in the new space or in this expanded space. Like, yeah.
Yes, I love that for sure. No, what did you want to talk about? Because
That
they definitely also said flow, like flow with it. That's part of the, don't overthink it just because I'm talking about one thing. If there was something in your intuition, right? Intuition was the first thing that came through. What is in your intuition that's coming up for it to flow through you to share with others?
being really real, and I don't know if it's fleeting or something to camp on, but just for all of us to realize that every day, this journey isn't anything separate than yourself. It's not like you're going to go on journey and now you're not going to, do your 3D job. It's all intermingled. It's all the same stuff. And we aren't to be doing it in fear-based energy. This is heart shit. You have to do it from the heart spot and do your diligence, clearing and unblocking your chakras, whatever. And there are ways to do it, but you have to do it from the right space or where it's going to take longer. And we don't have that kind of time. We clearly don't have that kind of time. But yeah, just do it from your heart space and do it. Trust yourself. Stop being scared.
Talking about time, right?
I don't believe in
What
it.
the fuck is
I don't believe in it.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yo, like,
I like playing with the thing they call time.
Do we not have time? Do we have control of time? Can we bend time? Are we moving through time? Are we time travelers? Like, what is this whole time thing that you speak of? Like, we don't have time, but what if you're supposed to move slow?
It's then you are. I don't know, but if you're not supposed
We
to,
don't have time for all of that. Like, you walking too slow. You acting like a
me it looks
slug
slow
that
motion, but I bet to those that are moving slow and that's what they're called to do, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. But to me, I'm just like, like, yeah, I got away. But like I said, it's like everything else. You've got people who drive in the fast lane that should need to get over, and you got people that's driving in the slow lane that clearly need to get over there. It's dynamic and it is what it is. But to not know your role is dangerous right now, I think, because you always want to know what you're doing, and to be complacent right now. This isn't the space to be complacent because decisions are being made, and if you're not making them, they're being made for you.
Oh,
but they are being made.
Oh, what is complacency? The comfort zone, right?
Yeah, and it comes out of that fear-based.
For my own skin? Am I not allowed to be comfortable in my own skin? They're saying we are being called to stretch out of the comfort of our own skin is because we're stretching bigger. We're morphing. It's like a spider molting out of its shell, out of its skin, because it's getting bigger, or like a baby, right? It's stretching out of its own skin. A baby's
like, what is the space I'm in? And is there anything beyond that space? Yes. You are beyond that space.
You know what we need to get if you don't have it already? What is that called? The brushes, the lymph node brushes, like brushing your skin to remove the dead skin.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's
take a walk on the beach.
Of your life flow, your chi energy to flow, to bring more clarity. Like if you're feeling stagnated or you feel like you need more clarity, I'm gonna need me a brush. I'm gonna go get one tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Okay, that was part of the download. We know what we're getting. Okay.
Clearly, all right.
Easy.
I was ready, but like there was like, no, we're brushing the skin right now. Okay. All right.
Okay, and removing layers. Got it.
The layers. the layers, the removing of layers, the reconstructing of layers, and for even like if you're, whether you're gaining weight or losing weight, or you know, your facial features are starting to change because you've established certain connections with certain people, and now those connections, you know, they do alter your DNA, they alter your frequency. Yeah, are altering each other's life frequencies, be it sharing a world together, whether it's sexual or not, right? It's just any type of relationship. But especially if it's sexual, that like that marriage, right? That y'all start, you know how like, so non-sexual could be like, they be like, a dog looks like their owner. Right? Where the dog starts looking like its owner because y'all always around each other sharing the frequency, and so the angles of light start to become similar to one another, because so that way the frequency is tighter, is stronger. And then people that have sex with each other, whether they're around each other, the more they do, they start growing features with each other. They start feeling each other's emotions and traumas. And I guess for the reestablishing, maybe for some of you that might be feeling too much of other people's energies, maybe reestablishing your own boundaries and reestablishing your own connection with your body, and seeing like what is yours and what is theirs. If you're feeling confused, I don't know if somebody's feeling confused or what. If that's the case, maybe that
I'm feeling the distraction piece, because I mean, it's like we came off this distraction, and if it worked, you know, oh well, you know, that wasn't a pretty place. But if it didn't work, it was a different attack on, you know, whatever this is, using distraction. Bloodline was the one. And we were talked about that before, but the other, it's that sex partner. It's that partner. It could be your kids too, but it's definitely that sex partner. I have a bruise in the same spot, girl. What happened to us? Were we battling? Is that astral?
Yep. Well, I was just gonna say the attacks are fucking real.
They're real. Yeah. And I'm telling you, they're using mates. They're using checkmate. That's what they're using.
In good space yesterday, and I decided to do a reel dancing as like, you know, if you get invasive or intrusive thoughts, like dance them away to transmute it. And then all of a fucking sudden, all these intrusive thoughts decided that they wanted to come in and distract my day, and I was having to do a whole bunch of transmutation and like being in them and getting out of them, and like hold up, you know, like wait a minute. And then when I reestablished my serenity and sovereignty with myself and nation, they tried to distract me with gunshots across the street. At first I was like, that's a fucking declaration not to fuck with me. Bang bang bang, right? Because essentially it was, yeah, right? But then it kept happening, and I was like, okay, like this is, now y'all trying to use it as a distraction. And I was like, no, not gonna happen. And so needing to know like why things are, when things seem disconnected, know that everything essentially is connected. So like it's okay to detach yourself from making it personal to you, but still be observant of the situation to see why maybe it may
happen. Just dip. Like if you're there, you gotta see it through. But and for me, it's a boundary shot.
Yep. Because when I heard the shot, I was like, hold up. I like, and that shit was 10 plus. Like it was 10 plus shots. And at first I was like, literally, it was when I was declaring shit, so I was like, that's the declaration, right? And then I looked out, and like the boys came, and they didn't put their sirens until they like really like, yeah, boop, real quick. It was like them alerting, letting them know, like, we here, the protection is here. But they didn't like, I didn't see no bodies, I didn't see it, so I was like, all right. But then later on in the day, the intrusive thoughts kept trying to come back, and I said, damn it, you know, I fucking made the fucking post, and now these fucking thoughts want to try to come in and like, so now I'm doing this shit for real, and like not that I don't do it for real, because I do, but it was just like I was in a peace. I was in a
That's what's
serenity,
so good
and
about it. You're at peace. You're in the zone, and it makes it all the way in the zone. That's the thing that trips me out.
right.
Back in the day, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, fucking reality though, because it's like, all right, if I was feeling at peace and I was like, okay, well, what do the people need to like see or whatever, or I was just feeling creative and that's what flowed through me, then essentially I invited that into my frequency, even though I was in a space that wasn't really in my frequency at the time. But obviously, for some people, like, you need to kind of have it in your frequency in order to override it, like overcome it, and know
Right.
what you're talking about to be able to share that information with others.
Exactly.
Right? So that's where, like, the reestablishment with yourself is important. Your mind, your body, your spirit. I invited somebody else to come on live. You better come, accept it. I'm just saying. And Jackie, you were going to say something.
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Or was I? No, because we talked about distraction.
I thought it was a mistake.
Nah, she
Hello, beautiful sister.
all right.
No, never be cruel. She probably thought it was a mistake because I never sent her a request to come on live. But we're talking about reestablishing foundations and everything, and I just feel like I'm not the only one that has messages for the collective, and so I don't know if it's a flow, it's a flow, and here we go.
Right.
We got thunder. We got the arrow. Ooh, that's very Jupiter energy. So we got 56, which is, again, so it was 11, 38, 56. That's all 11 numbers. 6 is 11. But you see how the numbers are flowing. That's funny. All of those numbers are associated with my life path numbers too, right? Ow! Oh. And then we have 3 with the arrow.
Okay.
So we know Jupiter is about to go into Taurus. So this could be reestablishing your foundation in a physical sense, right? Even though Jupiter is very spiritual, it's like your spirituality is gonna really be tangible at this time. So allow yourself to receive the tangibility of the physical things. You might, like, if you need a new car, you might be needing a new car and receive that new car. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's like something, a house, or reestablishing another business. I don't know, Jackie, you might end up with a third location.
I was about
or something.
I'm like, that's just because, and I'm gonna keep my cards close to the chest here. I'm looking at things, but yeah, I'm looking at things locally.
Thunder is striking. Thunder is striking. All right, I'm gonna read these. Y'all want me to read these or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We here. And then I'm gonna shut the fuck up so y'all can talk, because I'm not the only one that's supposed to be talking here. All right.
Reestablishing. Every time you say reestablishing, what I hear is affirmation. It's reaffirming. You already know it. So you've got your marching orders and you're just like, now's not the time, this and that. Ooh, this is happening. People are struggling with their balance, and we can talk about it. We cannot talk about it, but 5D, 3D, you've got your JOB 9-to-5 job, but you've got your spirit practice over here. I know who I'm talking to. You got your spirit practice over here, and you're just like, well, I don't see the bridge between them. The bridge between them is the action between them. You bridge them yourself. There is no bridge. You create the bridge. You know, like every single day I wake up, I know that I'm doing 2 actual jobs at the same time. That's how it works. So just say it, you know, I'm doing both of them at the same time. You know, that's, yeah, I'm telling you, yes, you can bend it. Yes, you can bend time. You absolutely can. You have to. Otherwise, you get stuck in a program. You gotta bend it out.
Oh, my bad. I don't even know if that's a real song, but yeah, it bends it. It is now.
Yeah.
That's to hear that.
Standing behind your body, and when you when you see yourself expanding, at least then you realize, well, that's not how I thought it was going to go. That's not normal. No, it's not normal. And go with it. Yeah. Y'all get your side hustles in prime time. That's what I'm hearing. Time for side hustles to go prime time.
Yo, literally,
Said it.
I got a little side stuff too. All right, it's all flow. It's all like I personally, I always. That's why I guess everybody needs to take care that like it's not this like detach from making things personal, but be aware of the connections of things. Yeah, for sure, because you know everything is
that's your shift.
in and of everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Like if you're feeling stuck or not, like are you this because who said this yesterday? Somebody said this to me yesterday. They was like, are your thoughts to me specifically, but they heard it from someone else where it was like, are your thoughts forward moving? Are you, if you're feeling stuck, are you just stuck in the past and getting out of it? Or are you, like, essentially thinking about moving forward, like, actually, like, not just thinking of moving forward, but thinking with the end in mind of your manifestation so that you are in the I am presence in the now moment so that your thoughts are forward movement. If they're moving forward, this is why, like I did the reel, I was like, I don't get sick. I get ascension symptoms because for some of y'all, I might be feeling, I'm so sick, I'm feeling like I'm ready to die. Like, no, bitch, I'm peacefully, and we going to the funeral, bitch. We're together. I'm prepared, you know. But it's awakening. It's a rebirth, born again. Okay, I ain't even religious. Okay, like health, my immune system reestablish itself. It, you know, the liver breaks down whatever it needs to break down, and it reestablishes itself, and it reawakens and is born again new every 3 days. Right? We got the number 3 here.
All by itself, too, people. Yes, this is what your body does on its own. I'm not gonna go there, but it does on its own.
So what? It's doing its job. Right? It's doing its job. It's not taking things personal, but it's observing what going through it because it knows that it's connected to everything. So what is your job? Like you mentioned, knowing your job at this time. I know my job at this time is to be cute and be in my feminine because I've been in my masculine for a really long time, and I'm a be motherfucking sexy, and y'all gonna have to deal with it at this time because the arrow is hitting its mark, and it ain't gonna stop for nobody.
Right.
Going straight through. We hitting the apple.
Bunch of self-love right there.
The apple in the pig's mouth. Right, let me read this shit. Thunder. Thunder, 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 thunder. Oh, yup. Legends speak of great thunder beings who live in the sky and call for your attention when great occurrences are meant to happen in the world. They warn when tensions in a situation are called upon to be released. Their presence in your reading reminds you of the dramatic moments in life that change everything, both awesome and frightening. When thunder arrives, it is also a wake-up call, one that you will not soon forget. That sounds like
I get excited.
That sounds like a tower almost, also, right? Like the internal tower moment. That sounds like when I was talking about your soul tribe coming in, or like Scott. Hey, Scott Daddy. Ow. Y'all know I don't even talk like that. Whoever need to hear it. All right. All right. Yeah, the Holy Spirit. Let's read the invitation. All right. That's the essence, the invitation. When thunder comes into your reading, it refers to a big dramatic change that feels like a herd of wild bison on the run. Ooh, okay. I like it.
It's time right now, whatever we call time, everybody's moving. You're gonna get trampled. You better move.
Right.
You know,
You
we were told to get up the mountain.
right.
Now we're being told move. Do your shit.
You feel it right through your bones, and you know that you are powerless to influence whatever events have been set in motion. This is a time to be prepared for anything. Your life is an adventure, and wonderful opportunities are arriving now. The trick is to learn to run with them. That's why I was saying, like, now's the time to, the call to action, like, be in your now moment, and like you may not be able to control everything outside of you, so like, just being in that, but also being in your call to action to move with it and flow.
Right.
Qualities that you'll need now more than ever are flexibility,
Yes.
sterility, and the willingness to experience it all without dictating from where or in what form opportunities will come. Your destiny is ready.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude, be open. And this is all where I'm talking about, like, something happens, you get triggered, you may not do whatever. But every time you get that test, make that course correction smaller and smaller and smaller. Make it so only it's detectable to you. People can't see your moves. And if you get it like that, of course you're flexible. Of course you meet those requirements, but if you just do what Spirit tells you to do, you get there. But to sit and not do it and just be thinking about it, the book is too big. You've got to take it chapter by chapter. You can't just swallow the whole, series of your life in a week,
Right. And then be upset that it didn't.
They might be able to swallow that bitch.
That's not what's coming in my store. I'm just saying, like, it's
it is a
new,
lot to
though.
swallow.
And you're just storing your nuts for winter, but your summer never comes.
Right.
It's always
the fear, the scarcity of needing to like store all those nuts in the mouth so the winter, thinking that is for the harvest. And so the medicine, right? The medicine, so the essence of it is the essence, right? It's just the general, and then the invitation is what it's inviting for those that, it's in the higher thing. The medicine is like if you're resistant to the invitation and the essence of this energy, this is the medicine that it needs to provide for you, right? So if any that we have like shared or said feels like, that's not my story, that's not for me, that may be true, but there might be a medicine that's here for you, which is why your soul brought you here. Just allow yourself to flow through the experience and see what the medicine is. So, the medicine. Do you feel like unnecessary drama is waylaying your life?
Yeah.
Could you be exhausted from listening to others tell you their never-ending victim story? Or could you be telling yourself a version of the same? It is time for an about face. You are being warned that to continue on this path will cause you to regret your choices. Even if they appear familiar, it is time to say no to drama, both yours and others. Focus on solutions rather than problems. You are worthy of a drama-free life.
Yes. If it ain't about evolving, please keep it away.
Want it.
If it ain't gonna empower me or empower who I'm around, or empowering my family, even if I'm not empowering you, no way.
No way. Right.
Yeah.
No, no, no. They don't love you and you know now.
You know what though? Here, I don't know. I just heard something, and I'm gonna say it out loud because I even feel like it's something I shouldn't say. But here we go. Who are you without your detachments and your excuses for why you're spending your time this way, worrying about other people's stuff? So, if you take all of that away and you're left with just you and your shit, why is that so scary? It's yours. You know, why is that so scary? Why is the first impulse to make sure that you've got other people to worry about? Because that's really, you know, you strip all that away and now here you are on your journey. This is where you are. Don't let that be a scary thing. Don't let that be a scary thing.
The I'm experiencing.
She's hitting the mark. Frozen. Hitting the mark.
Yeah.
Before I read the arrow, I just kind of want to like take a pause because that was a lot of information for whoever might need to like hear all of that. So let's just like take a moment, take a breath together, taking a deep inhale through the nose into your I am present, just feeling your body and exhaling out through the mouth. Holding that breath out, just being on the next exhale. We're going to exhale through the nose. So taking a deep inhale through the nose again. Feeling the energy just circulating, allowing for all of that to be digested properly and processed. And exhale through the nose. Just being in the present moment, knowing that everything is flowing as it should be and needs to be. And on this next inhale, we're just going to invite the consciousness of clarity with clear and healthy boundaries to present itself where it needs to for your yeses and your nos and its proper formation to reestablish your mind, body, and spirit to the frequency and that serves your highest good. Taking a deep inhale. And exhale. All right. Here and now, let's go with the next message. Bombo clap. Ooh. All right. The essence. Receiving the symbol. Remind you, when you are in alignment with your heart and soul, you are on target and will soon be hitting the mark. Be true to your calling. Free yourself from bondage of unbridled ambition. Now will be a moment of contact in which your intentions meet the material world. The act also symbolizes the need to set your creativity free so that your manifestations is going to come in tangibly at this time. With Jupiter going into Taurus, all your spiritual intentions and everything is physically going to show out. And if you deserve it, you're going to see it. Okay? If you're seeing opposite results, what have you been entertaining in your mind? What have you been entertaining? And that is your reflection for you to now release those attachments so that you can actually have the space open and ready for the beautiful blessing that is before you, because you deserve a life that is drama-free. And you deserve to receive the tangibility. It takes double the amount of energy for physical energy to work. Okay? And with Jupiter going into Taurus for about a whole year, okay, we are going to have a year of physical, tangible results of our own spirituality.
Yes.
Okay?
That's what the learning was all about. We're gonna see it play out.
Yeah.
But
what
this
you
one
did
specifically,
play out. Yeah.
yes. But this month specifically is going to be a big portal and channel for that, because we're going to have 5 planets in the sign of Taurus, while Venus is in Cancer. Flow, water, currency. Okay? So, with all of that, your emotional body, what's in your emotional body as well. But the flow, allow yourself to flow. It's giving life. What is life? What is healing? What is cleansing? So it's bringing it in, the currency of your manifestations to flow in. It's fluid. It's flexible. So you may be thinking that you had a plan to do certain things one way, and little did you know you might have to reestablish that plan to look a little bit different, because you may have thought a little too small and you got a bigger, something that you didn't even manifest for so long. You've been putting so much energy into that for so long that's what's going to manifest, because it takes double the amount of energy, and you're going to receive something bigger than your own imagination.
You have to get bigger. Yeah.
Yep. And you're going to have to reestablish your plan.
Exactly.
But that's okay, because when you're receiving it, it's because you can deal with it. Because God don't give you nothing you can't handle. You got it. The invitation. When the arrow zings through the air, it is inviting you to pay attention and signifying that you are about to make your mark in some aspects of your life. It illuminates the moment of contact when you know that your desires and intentions have traveled on the wind and landed in a perfect place for your highest good.
Isn't that beautiful?
Trust that your job. What was that?
That's so beautiful. Just know, applying that to yourself is the thing.
Yeah. This is a great reading. I know. We so juicy, because you got to be in the mood to receive it, right? To be here, right? Trust that your job is to be relaxed yet focused. Like I said, chill, relax, get that rest if you need, but move when you have that call to action, and it's going to require you to be in tune with your intuition. Be focused. Keeping your eye on the prize, yet releasing your intention with full expectation that it will land as it is supposed to. Don't worry about the how or the exact form. This is not the time to interfere with the manner in which the arrow flies. It will make its mark. You will have cause to celebrate.
That's the hard part. That's the tricky part for humans. First of all, surrender, flow, what? It's like, yes, if you're just flowing, the resistant cues itself up. You can see everything. You can see it.
Energy. That's why they told me to be in my feminine energy. I didn't know I had control issues until I realized I like things a certain way, and that's it. I'm a fucking Capricorn. There's gotta be some of a control issue somewhere in here. And that's the masculine trait. So they're asking to be in the feminine of flow and surrenderance, to trust, but be in the balance
and
of
be patient.
Be patient. shit. Be focused.
But focus.
Move when you're
See?
supposed to move.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be lazy. That's why I was like, you know what? I could be here, have the time, and not come on live if I'm being called to come on live.
No, it was pretty clear. I could hear as soon as I saw you pop up. I knew it was going to happen. I made food anyway, but I was out there like just shoveling in it. Yeah, I love how all of the messages, they're so connected. Spirit right now is wanting it to be so clear. Like it's not even letting it be confusing between us when we talk. And that's what I love. And it's like you can trust. You can trust it and just go about your damn day. Just go about your day. It'll all fall into place. Just flow.
Right.
Yeah, I mean for real. Just learning how to flow. That's the big one. Just focus on that.
Right.
And just see what happens. You're happier for it.
How before I get into the medicine, right? Either both. I actually want both of you to answer. So whoever wants to answer first, but I want to hear both of y'all, right? If somebody didn't know how that looks, like they asked, "How do I flow? How do I surrender?" What would be your best advice to them? Because we're giving them the word. We're giving them the advice essentially, but they don't know what that looks like, how that looks like.
Do you have an answer for that? What does flow look like? I'm not gonna put you on the spot.
What I can say what flow looks like to me is anything occurs or anything happen, you know how you think or the thought pops up like, oh my God, it's tragic, or oh man, happening, or man, this came out of nowhere. Just analyze it. Look at it, analyze it. Don't rush in too fast. Just flow with it. Like, take your time. Ain't no rush. Take your time. The same way you sit. Let's say you on a paddle. You sitting on a paddle like on a boat or something, and you just flowing on the river. The same thing, whatever circumstances or whatever situations, rush to it. Even though you know you need to resolve it, just make sure you take steps to resolve it so you don't have to come back to it again.
Mm-hmm. Loaded question. All right, so for me, flow, I think of the river, but you're in the river, you're in the boat, you're looking ahead. It's you're experiencing something, and you're going to experience lots of things. So, and I'm like just looking down the river here. I know that there's a current. I know, and I may not know, but I do know that that water is going in that direction, and so am I. And everything that happens along the way, the more I am cognizant of it, I think the better off I am. So, I mean, when you flow, there's a lot of things going on. You're observing, you're making decisions, sometimes slow, sometimes quick. It just depends on where you are in the current. But the key is that you are not interacting with everything. I mean, because you're sovereign, you have choice. So when you're flowing, you can and still be moving through it like everybody else, and only the things that bump into you do you really have to deal with. Other than that, because some things are just coming right at you and you can't get away from it. It's like, okay, you chose violence, here we go. But other than look, I'm Aquarius, you always have to deal with it. But but other than that though, like I can see down there and I know about what can happen with everything I see when I get down there. But I'm not there yet. There is a whole lot between me and there. So yeah, it's very important to be mindful. Like for me, surrender is about trusting yourself to make those decisions as they present themselves. But I want to have good information. I'm an analyst. You want to have good information because this is your freaking life. So yeah, I think the thought process is the hardest part of this whole thing, because you really can't ditch information. You don't know what you need. Just like grade school, you're going to go like 13 years really, because you got kindergarten. You're going to go through all of that, not knowing what you want to do, but you gathered all that information. You flowed 13 years, you know, to where we don't know program, but you flowed. We practice that stuff so many times. That's why I say don't make journey hard. You've done this. Flowing, you flowed out of a person, and you really, did it have to do with you? Not really sure. Was it their body or you? I don't know, but you did it. You know, you flowed out of a person. You flowed all the way through the I can't even feed myself program. You've been flowing since you've been here. Continue to flow, and don't make it hard. Just, you know, and if you don't know what it's like, then stick something in the water and watch it happen. Do that. If a rock can sink or a porous one can float, figure it out. Intuit, use your mind, ask your tribe, Google it. At this point, there's so many ways to do it, you know, but at least try. Figure it out on the fly. But that is flow. Just, you know, you're buoyant, trust yourself, you're not going to sink. See what you bump into. Try not to bump into the things that are prickly and you know damn well are going to hurt you. Avoid those things, you know. But yeah. I think I answered your question. I went on like at least 8 tangents. I saw them happen, but I just went.
That was great. That was like so yummy. It was very yummy. I just saw so many conversations I had with my own parents of like, you know, their thought processes of like, you know, like them essentially planning me, right? And like how they just needed to trust themselves, to trust me, to be who I am.
They were enough to make
so that
all of you. Right.
exactly. And I was the one I flowed into their psyche, and like that was what you gave. Like you was like flowing into their psyche and essentially flowing through, you know, both of them, and then they're making the love making, and I'm flowing, being spat out.
Yeah,
you know, all
the
of that.
idea of you that comes into that manifests into the being of you, and everything you experience until you transition into the next thing, that whole end-to-end process, that's flow.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole thing. So breaking it down is what makes it, you know, chasing red herrings in spiritual journey is where we get lost. You leave the red herrings. Just leave them alone. They flow on their own. So leave them alone.
It was so perfect using the analogy too of like what you flowed out of another being, was it their body or your body? Because essentially you're sucking all the nutrients of that body, which is also your body. Because you know, woman her eggs throughout her entire like life when she's even her mom, you know, all of this like that was amazing. I want to take
you have pushed a human. If you pushed a human out of your body, I remember this. It was flow. I felt it right under my boobs, and I felt it the whole way down. It's just like, that's the crowning, and this is the exit. You know, like it was flow. I didn't do none of that work. I didn't do nothing.
And the reason that's so big is because we're getting ready to receive our deliverance of what's flowing through us, of the babies that we're birthing, right? Those physical manifestations coming through, you know? So y'all want to do the breathing after the medicine, after I read it, or do y'all want to do it now? Because that was fucking juicy, and I'm like, I don't know. That was cosmic milk right there. And I just, yeah. Like, all right, well, I'll read the medicine, and then we'll go and we'll sink everything in.
Okay.
Yeah. Do the breath work again. So the medicine, if any of that, if the flow was resistance, if you're like crashing into the rocks and feeling more like a waterfall than the river, like a lazy river, then, you know, this might be the medicine that you need to hear. And so the medicine. This is a time to admit that by continuing on the path that you are on, you might be shooting yourself in the foot. Could it be that you have become so attached to winning this game that you have missed the true mark? This is so dang on juicy, yeah. All right,
I'm so
what
happy
is
with this reading. Okay.
what? Yeah, let me read. Come on, y'all. We gotta breathe in a moment, okay?
We better breathe.
Yeah. Exhale, exhale. Okay, exhale, inhale. Okay. What if your arrow never landed where you wanted it? Ooh. Ooh, somebody's feeling gonna get hurt. I know, ouch. I know, ouch. I know,
Okay.
ouch.
It's a tornado. We're
Uh-huh.
grand
Uh-huh. Now is the time to regroup and ask yourself if what you desire is really worth your energy. This is a sign that something better is waiting. Consider the wisdom in not getting what you want.
Yes.
Suffering. Mic drop.
Yes, we don't know better. We never have. So stop it. It's ignorant. It makes us look bad. Just, I mean, the universe is bigger. There's ascended masters in it. I mean, just listen. Just listen to what you're being told and stop thinking that you know better than the freaking universe. Wow. Because it's going to embarrass you at a red light. You know, it's gonna happen. You gotta listen. You will listen one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
You need to hear that, but you will listen.
Yeah, if not, it's essentially connecting to the pain body, right? So suffering in this case is a pathway to heal the parts of you that feel unworthy. The parts that worry. Remember, I was talking about you may have given up on a certain like dream or a certain manifestation because it felt bigger than you. And the universe was like, you put so much energy and emotion into this, and like that might be what is about to manifest before you, and so you're gonna have to reestablish your whole foundation for goal, right? This is a message for somebody. It's gonna be something different than you thought it's gonna be, but it's gonna be exactly what it needs to be for you. And you've been suffering in your current circumstances because you have given up on that because maybe it didn't seem too realistic for you or too tangible, or it was too big in your mind and you didn't feel worthy of receiving greatness. But like spirit is like, go ahead and be great. Like,
Exactly.
don't worry about greatness. Like, just be grateful. Be grateful. Be in a state of gratitude. And then that is the whole attitude that allows for you to be great. And greatness will surround you. Right?
Yep. Right.
Suffering in this case is the pathway to heal the parts of you that feel unworthy. The parts that worry that isn't enough. Make peace with those voices. What is truly yours will be waiting for you. And the page number 7. Woo! All right.
Okay.
We're going to just take in, allow that to sink in through our nose. Allow us to receive all that is for our highest good. And we are going to exhale the expectations. Exhaling. And allow. Taking 2 more breaths in. Well, taking one breath in, just flowing. And feel the flow of that breath in your body where it feels any tension. And maybe taking another deep inhale into that space. Feeling the flow of your own energy, breaking through that energy. And exhaling all expectations, knowing that it is all done through the surrenderance and trust of your will. One more final breath, reestablishing the breakthrough and trusting that you are able, capable, and worthy of receiving that which is for you, no matter how big it is. Exhale. Ashe. Ashe, ashe. Ah, that was great. Thank you, Jackie. Jacqua. Thank you, Ita.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So that was good. That was the collective message. If y'all, do you have anything else you would like to share or say?
That was good. No, that was good. I really hope that helped too, because I hate seeing it be treated so simple. Just the living this thing and enjoying. I mean, this. Yeah, you're supposed to enjoy this. It's not supposed to be painful. At the end of the day, this is. You should be smiling every day. Even though, I mean, I go through some shit, girl. But every day is a blessing, and it makes sense. I dig it. You roll with it. You flow with it. You have to.
Yeah, you gotta release the shit. You gotta release the shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's fun. Fire, yes.
It'd be like, oh, you're not feeling good? Go shit. And I'm like, like if you don't gotta take a shit, like you better go take an enema or do
No,
like a lax, put your finger up your butt or something. Like go take a shit. Road opener.
No, yeah, that's root chakra shit right there. No pun intended.
All right. We give, I'm a Venus and Aquarius, so we give untraditional, unorthodox advice.
That's why we're here.
It's just, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Do you have anything you would like to share? As I think you have something to say, but I don't know if I cut you off or something.
Can't remember.
It was so juicy.
But pretty
got
much,
lost.
pretty much like life journey. Just don't be hard on yourself. Stay consistent. Ride that wave. Don't beat yourself up. And like the sister, like you were stating,
By the way, y'all were both in Indigo 11 together, and we have all these 11s that came up.
oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll try.
Okay.
So old tribe.
Yes. Dang. When I joined that tribe, it was like 2017.
Yeah, I was thinking 2017, 2016.
11 again. 11 again.
Right.
I can't make this shit up. I'm thinking of the number with justice.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Kind of cleans too. That's why it pops off the way it does.
No, it's okay. But what I was gonna say real quick is just with the journey, don't be hard on yourself. Ride that wave. Stay consistent. Be happy. Live your life. Shit is gonna happen every day, regardless if you want it to or not. It's a choice. You choose which side you want to be. I choose to be happy.
Exactly.
But
slow going with the energy right now, so you finna tell me how we gonna be acting right now. I'm just saying. I was choosing to be real nice, but you know, for me, I'm in a flow state. I'm in a flow state, and so I be like, God, I'm gonna let you deal with it. And if you tell me to deal with it, lightning and fire, then I guess it's gonna motherfucking burn a roof on fire.
Exactly.
Right. Right. Right.
I'm gonna just shut the fuck up.
Fire
because
transmutes, man. It's fast.
I like to choose violence. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I am a self-defender. And I say that shit, but I really be crying too. That be part of my flow state. I was crying today. I was so angry. I was crying because I flowed in a different way. I said, ooh, I could have chose violence, but I flowed with the experience in the way that I needed to flow with the experience, because I was seeing how the currents for me was flowing a certain way, and I was seeing the distractions around, like Jacqueline was saying, like there's gonna be things around that's not
it takes on,
but it's not touching you. It's not really touching you. So don't let it distract you. If it's not, only deal with that which is touching you.
right.
And so what was touching me didn't require for me to be all like hostile. But I could feel the emotions and the tension of the currency, the water flows that was around me, right? And so I was releasing through tears and crying. I was like, you know, through my vulnerability, there is strength, and through these tears is transmutation, because I was angry. But I knew that if I acted on that anger and I didn't use my emotional intelligence, right? Because in the flow state, you flowing, but you want to have that emotional intelligence, right? If I was completely just going it, the actions around could have essentially detoured me out of the flow state. It could have put me in.
And that's the point. That's why the distraction happens. They want you out of that flow state. You can't be unfucked with them.
So I was like, you know what? I'm true. I'm always love. Even in my anger is like a sacred rage of love. You know, which is why I go through God. Like, go through God first. I go through God first. I'm like, whoever God is to you. You know, I'm not speaking from a like biblical or like religious place. I'm speaking from like the essence of source within your entire being, right? Essentially, whatever higher power, inner power, it is, because we are essentially, the God is within me. Like I am that I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not separate of, you cannot separate me from source. You cannot separate me from creation. There is no separation. And so I from that.
Yeah.
And so, but you gotta go through God, and that which I cannot handle, I know God can handle all things. Through God, all things are possible. And I surrender to that knowing. I surrender to that. I faithfully trust that I am divinely protected and guided at all times, because I am blessed and highly favored. I am made in the image of source. Like, that is how fruitful and bountiful my source loves me. Like, it is, everything eventually will work out in my favor, even the nasty attitudes, even the detour, right? I might get detoured, but look it, there's always a warning. Somebody's gonna come through with a warning and tell you. So if you happen to hit a rock while you are flowing down that river, and that rock essentially makes you have a detour because you chose to respond in a different way, which wasn't in tune with your intuition and your emotional intelligence, and you start to go down the other way, there is going to be a messenger, a sign, or something going to warn you This is your warning now. You already hit that rock and you hit it up here, and there's the warning now.
Right.
Saying, yo, go back. Kind of like circulate back up from that situation. It's okay to say no. This ain't for me. I'm done with this. It's okay to give up on things sometimes. You know, it's okay to be a quitter sometimes. Sometimes you need to know when to quit.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Sorry, Ethan. I know I went on a tangent. I'd like cut you off.
No, it's cool. No, go ahead. I was listening. I was receiving. I really feel like y'all talking to me. That's why I'm just like quiet, just like receiving this.
It's a whole bunch of
Because if I tell you how my day was today, you would be like, okay.
I'm telling you, these energies, whatever they're coming hard after. I'm saying it. They're coming hard after collective because that's a nice shiny prize
left
to have.
and right. Boom, boom.
You know,
boom.
you can
And
disrupt a
I'm just-
lot with any one of us. You know,
I've been in a really good flow state, and today, like I said, I cried. It's been a day. Today was definitely. I was like, okay, all right, but look at where we are.
Right.
you reclaim your power. That you got to.
Yeah.
We're hearing our calling, and we're like, no, we know how to establish our foundation. We know how to regroup ourselves and get back there, right? And if whoever needs to hear this message probably needs that reminder too, because you can what we're doing right now, we're saying, guess what? Life was lifing on us, but we still showed up.
Exactly.
She was literally like, yo, I'm eating, and we was over. Ita did not know that she was gonna come on live. I didn't know I was gonna come on live. Jacqueline didn't know that she was gonna come on live on here. We all flow. It's a flow state. It's a flow state.
Yeah.
But it's divine. The council adorned it.
Yeah.
Council. This was the first card. Going back to it, it was divinely guided. You know what I'm saying? So if you're here, if there was any resistance, or even if there wasn't resistance and it just like, that's the message. That's some, maybe you're here to hear it in this way and you already know this stuff, right? Like, it's like, I know we know this every day. We know everything, but we need reminders sometimes.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not about knowing. Okay, what are we doing with it? Is it time to do something with it? That's what about 2 weeks ago. I know what I heard. I was tired. I'm like, are you sure? Is it me? Is it time yet? I want to see the fine print. Yes, it was me. And it's like, okay, well, let's just do this shit here. Bring on the newbies. You know, and like, but yeah. And I've enjoyed it this time through. Last time, not so much. It was heavy. Enjoying it this time. It's my choice to enjoy. That's my choice to roll and kick and scream about it. But no, I'm going to enjoy it because this is pretty awesome what we're doing. Yeah. Even when it's painful and crap, it's awesome because it's the yin and yang. You know, if it's crap on the front, it's going to be awesome on the back. So here we go.
Yeah. Right. Jerry said, embracing the duality.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you're telling Aquarius that, though. I'm like, I get it.
More than our signs too. I said we are more than our zodiac signs too, though.
Right.
I
get it, though. You cannot have one without the other.
The justice card, the polarities, the pillars. Essentially, even though this is the justice card, I even thought high priestess energy.
Yeah.
Sit on your throne, allowing yourself to submit to the actual truth and taking time into your hands with your choice, being immovable. letting your authentic self truly navigate the path for you, even if you don't know fully what that looks like, because it may be bigger than your imagination. Flowing in that
And that's okay.
is working out in your favor, because justice is in your favor. And that which may have been felt righted is gonna be that which had felt wrong is gonna be righted for you. Yep. There's a walking away from a situation, because on the top of the deck there was the 8 of Cups. Something that maybe was once, you wanted it to, like as stated, you wanted it to work out so bad. It was emotionally something that you was putting your energy to, but then you got something else to birth. Essentially, you want your Chariot here of, yo, when I upload this video, y'all better not try to bring my video down because how my cards are. You hear me? This for adults only.
Disclaimer.
I don't see nothing wrong.
With a little open breath.
That's probably what be going on in the Chariot. All right.
Hopefully. The Chariot.
And Magician here, because you have all the tools and resources necessary. And you are the road opener, the gatekeeper. You are the Alpha and the Omega. You are the yes and no. You are the decision from the choice that you made. Okay? That is you. That is your magic. That is your superpower.
Yeah.
So being in your magic, being in your power.
And walk like that.
4 cards,
Holy shit.
4 cards, and 3 major arcanas. This ain't no little shit. This ain't no little shit. If there was manipulation, the manipulation is done. The only thing, they're telling me to correct myself, so I will. As far as manipulation is concerned, because it's not a bad thing. It's time that your call of action is to manipulate your time and your place in a way that is flowing for you, and resource. So, like, if you don't see the resources in front of you or know that you have the resources, a way that you can manipulate that is through words of power, words of hekabu, right? Affirmations, declarations, okay? Affirming it into your reality. Not only do you receive it, but you claim it. It is yours now, and through your voice of authority and free will, all angles of light and frequency morph and shape itself into the reality, and you jump on that timeline. You jump onto that reality and live it. You are that. Oh, we got some time jumpers over here.
Yes, it's faster.
Yeah. Yeah. Might be some astral work going on too, because even though the Chariot, I felt like that was something physical. I really got a lot of spiritual here too, with astral body, astral projection, the Merkaba flowing and moving. So essentially, your body is your temple, is your vessel, and that which is moving you forward here. They're making love, but they're taking their time, they're pacing, they're not in no rush. It's a celebration, essentially. They're making a baby, and there's the polarities again. You know what I'm saying? The light and the dark.
Yeah.
You know, there's also the flow of you may not always see the pathway, right? And you may not always know all the right words to say, but just trusting in the journey and knowing that you're gonna get there regardless, because she may not be able to tell him essentially But she's also supposed to be the eyes, but she's using her intuition because her eyes are closed.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes are closed. And she's the oracle. And he's using his intuition because he's not able to see, but he's able to speak. So together they are navigating each other intuitively, be in the wholeness and oneness and making love through the intuition, through the flow state, so that they don't steer off in separate paths. I never looked at this card in that way. You know, for some of you, this is definitely like that marriage with self or that marriage with another individual that is going to be something that you didn't, it could be a relationship that you didn't even know was going to be cosmic.
I know there's a lot of magic in that shot. There's a lot you can draw from in that shot.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the first card. This is the first card. There was a pregnancy there. There was already a marriage to something, a dedication to something already.
And you
had to leave behind, but you see, there's still a piece of life with you that's moving forward because everything has a lesson. So you may have needed to walk away from those people, those places, those things, those circumstances and say no, but you left with lessons of life inside of you didn't have before, which essentially is the wisdom.
And there, you were there for those lessons. Yeah.
See, I love it.
There's no when to go, no when to go. Don't shortchange yourself on the lesson. Sometimes you want to go early, but you shortchange yourself on the lesson. You got to see it through. But when it's time to go, go.
What's up, baby? Don't worry about a thing. It's gonna be alright. That's what I keep hearing. Don't ask me the rest of the lyrics. I don't know it right now. Well, that was the second. That was the second card because the first card was the Justice. So I guess essentially, coming into justice, coming into bringing you into balance, so that you know, like Jack was saying, like knowing when to leave. So that's the Justice, is like the knowing. Justice is awareness at that point.
Because if you don't leave, let me how to say this. These are portals. You leave when your portal to leave presents itself. If you don't, you've accepted a new cycle of just that. So it's a choice. It's gonna come around again, but it's like, my God, how many times do you need to cycle this shit? You know you want to go, or you don't want to stay, right? Turn around, walk off, take your lesson. Just walk in that direction. Let's at least see what the path has on it, you know? Yeah. Commit to it and flow. Commit low. Yeah.
And my mouth is salivating. For real. This is food for thought, you know?
And again, simple stuff. You put your hand on a stove and you burn yourself, you're not just going to be like, wow, this is hot. Ooh, oh, I can't handle this. Wow. No. Oh.
I told back on again with my hand because I put a lighter. I knew it was hot and I stood too long with it I didn't realize until I was on the floor that I made a hole in my hand, like stuff myself, and I passed out and I woke up on the floor like, what the hell happened? And it was like whole face. Like you burn. I said, "Oh, this is how I kept." Like I was talking to them throughout the whole process until I like fell, and as quickly as I fell was when I like woke up. But I was like, they was like freaking out because I was like, and then I just had this like hole in my hand, and I was like, "Oh man, you gotta
No,
know when to stop."
food for some other stuff.
Mhm.
You gotta know when to quit because you just might pass out and hurt yourself, right?
Mhm.
You know, that's what I did. I hurt myself, but I needed to learn that a stubborn way so I could be reborn again,
Right.
you know? But
Right.
you don't, so this is your warning so that you don't have to do it that way.
Exactly. Choice.
So feel the stove is hot. Take your hand off the stove. Ouch.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? If you see somebody trying to do that same shit, you don't want to do that. You know, it's nice to help people. You know, like, what do you think's gonna cover up?
Right.
You're gonna be let them. Then have some aloe vera next to you so that way you could give it to them so they can like help soothe it just a little bit if you know, like
Or just let them do it anyway and be like, here, go, let me go get some aloe. I know what this is gonna be. You know?
Right.
it's just gonna hurt you, but you finna find out. Like, but I got you anyways. Cause there's people like that, you know. So I'm just saying if you're gonna be one of those, at least have the aloe vera, you know, like
You know, yeah.
it's not their business, right? Essentially, they're gonna see if the person's gonna want to choose through their free will to stop or keep going, because you know, essentially, it's not how other people choose, but we can choose how we can show up for other people.
Right.
Right.
All of it's a test. What role? I'm big on roles and responsibilities. What role are you in? It can flip with just one person walking in a room or walking out of it.
Right.
And
What's your role?
if it's
You know.
trauma-filled person that you need to say no to, just leave the aloe vera right next to them and walk the fuck out the room. Them do what they do. Just leave
With
that aloe there.
instructions. With instructions.
Or not, but you know.
Apply me after. You know. Because remember, it did say like you learn to say no, maybe putting healthy boundaries. I was talking about that, like literally when you don't have those healthy boundaries, your aura is like Swiss cheese or like a great, you know, like a great cheese. You know, essentially you have so many holes in your aura, and you inviting everything and everyone to just come in.
Take
Right.
from
You
me
know,
whatever you want.
then
Yeah. Mm-mm.
tired, you feel sluggish, you don't feel worthy, you feeling everybody's fears and everybody's karmas, and no, so you need to reestablish who you are, reestablish your aura, and allow for yourself to not have to be like Swiss cheese. You
Mhm.
Yeah. And
know.
people close to you, you start to look different to them. They start to wonder what's going on with you. That's a sign. And like when you're outside of 5D, what are the signs? Change in personality. Yeah, respond to that. You know, if you're seeing your people acting a little strange, yes, let's talk about it. You know, because they could be either going through something or absolutely not in line at the safe way, and some energy just got on them and they brought it home. You know, didn't even know the person. Like sometimes you don't even know the person. The energy transfer is real. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the study, but energy transfer, study that one. Yeah.
Definitely. Even in a public place, you don't even have to know the person. It can be,
Walmart, don't do
it can
them.
be related.
You go in with your hat.
Right.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
I'd be like, move, bitch, get out the way, get out the way. Here I come, here I go. Oh, stop, don't move, bitch. Oh, that's me.
It's like
The part
you put
sometimes.
your hand on
Just like that now.
basket. You're like, every aisle I go in, why is there nobody? Where are the people here, but they're not in my aisle? What's going on? It's like, no. All y'all split them.
Like, that's been the name of love. Step in the name of love, right? All right. And I think that's the second R. Kelly song that came up already. All right. Wes, he's coming up. Listen, I'm not going to judge
Oh
people
goodness,
for
what
what
he's doing. All
he
right.
is. Listened to R. Kelly growing up. I did. All right. I was like bumping in the ice skating room to Keys to Ignition. I not like on shit. I, wearing that I was a ballerina on that ice skating ring. Okay. Like, we're not gonna. His music is not him, or it is a part of him, but it's not him. Just like our thoughts are, we are not our thoughts, but we have our thoughts, right? So he
Right.
has his music, but he is not his music. So his actions, it is what it is, but we're not talking about that. I'm gonna sing me some fucking R. Kelly if I want to sing me some R. Kelly. Whoever need to hear this message, because apparently I'm probably triggering somebody by singing some.
It'd be all right.
Here
The
I
charge.
come. Here I go. Uh-oh. Stop. Just move. All right. All right.
That's
Mm,
exactly how Fun Journey is, though. Yes, this is exactly what it looks like.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
With some bullshit around the edges, normal days. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's the remix.
One thing I did have noticed within the journey too, if something happens and I go through a cycle and I go through that cycle multiple a time, my emotion towards it is not the same from when I experienced it the first time. And I'd be like, damn, I'm not reacting the way I was before. That's growth.
That
Pat on the
shows up
shoulder.
real hard in relationships. In the beginning, you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
and then, right around that time when you cut the cord, you're just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You acknowledge, but you also acknowledge you're moving different.
Yeah.
That's the universe, kindness and protection, allowing you to make that transition. Cut that damn cord.
Is cutting the cord metaphysical? Metaphysical.
I'm
Well,
going
yeah,
to be the one talking about cord cutting today because I'm not going to do it.
All right, and that is her switching boundaries and saying no.
Well, see, I'm wrestling right now. I'm in a place because I'll be open. I will go through things knowing it's probably not even my thing, but I know the kind of work I do. So I'm going to go through it so I can talk intelligently on it, being real. So it's extra bullshit, but it's for a purpose. I'm still trying to figure out, there are certain that are so hard. Bloodline ones, I thought those are hairy, but there's certain ones that are hard, and you cut and you're like, whew, I'm done, I'm good. And then 3 months later, here you go. Like, wait, how'd you get through? No.
Well, so that's why I was going to ask, is it like a physical thing? Is it metaphysical? All this stuff? Because I'm just asking that just to ask if somebody had those questions, right? And those of y'all that's here, y'all could engage in the comments and y'all too. Like, cord cuttings, I know I had an ex that I was with them still, and I recommend this to all healers, especially those that practice mediumship, because that's a lot of spiritual engagement, energies, and you can cord cut from your own partner, and that doesn't mean that you're gonna have a divorce. That doesn't mean that you are separating from them in a physical sense, but in an energetic space to establish their security and your sovereignty, right?
Right.
And so that's how I kind of look at it too. When they be like, "Oh, well, why is this person still showing up?" Well, what was your intentions during?
To trigger you that way when you thought you cut that energetic.
And there's some cords that they're so anchored that it has a hook to it. It's almost
Or
parasitic
it
or
comes
something.
to you through another bloodline, like people with kids, that's a tricky water to navigate.
Yes, and those are the ones that like you might need to call on your spiritual counsel or have some assistance to help you pull those out of you. And you might want to fully release those and like let it go. And then there's also those that do cord cuttings and they don't want the person to be physically in their life. And then 3 months later, this person's coming back. Well,
But they're coming back on a different frequency usually, though.
right. So did they text you or did you have a dream with them? Did you entertain it?
Right. And that. That part too. I mean,
Because
to me, there's so many layers to. I thought it was so cut and dried because that's how I always dealt with it. Cut and dried, unemotional Aquarius. Then I just, look at my little Libra moon and it's like, oh, impact, and then you let that emotion creep in there. I don't know how to put it, but it's in that detail right there. That hair. It's heart chakra. Because at the end of the day, we all want what? To be loved, right? And so, and then you want to be what they would call, like Christians would say, Christ-like, right? So you may give it a little too long.
We are love. Like you want to be something
what we do. Yes.
And so that is your biggest war is with your own self, with your own mind, and not the person that you are essentially trying to cord cut from. Right. They are just an expression of that internal dialogue that you're having with yourself. That is your internal war, and that's why they keep showing up, because you still haven't established that with yourself. Mm-hmm. So they're showing up to show you what you're dealing with within yourself.
Right. You know what? When I flip flop, it can happen right there. A flip, like one random flip of thought, how I think about it, and that's all it took for that portal. That's all it took. But then you learn something about yourself. Your thoughts are that powerful. You can manifest with your thoughts. Be careful. Mm-hmm. But know what it is you want to manifest. Like, know what it is. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say stick with it, because you can change your mind, but be deliberate. And if your mind is going to shift, then do it appropriately and not rogue.
And sometimes people, they look at love as like romance. And you're like calling love, and that is love, baby. Like, that's probably why they keep coming back in, because they are a true essence of love that your soul needs you to see, so that you can love yourself deeper and love them unconditionally.
Ooh, right? You said the word. Yeah.
Right? Like, just in the experience, they are a catalyst, right? To the experience for you. So just love them unconditionally and get back to self, and that means not romanticizing the experience,
girl,
because when in Rome, I am Rome, bitch.
Look, for real, there's absolutely a thought process. I've seen it exactly 3 times in a row, but there's a thought process where you can love, but unconditional love, there's no such thing as that. And if you say that at that point, you literally put a barricade on that whole entire part of your journey. It's just like,
say that again.
Okay, so you say, like, love. Yes, I get love, but the unconditional love, the love that is expanded as it can get, because we're talking about damage and trauma. So we're not wanting to acknowledge that that's even a thing. We don't want to work on that plane because that's too big. But if that thought process is seated and allowed to stay that way, look at what all it blocks. It's a whole different conversation. But for real, I'm not
following or understanding what you're saying with that. I think I'm misunderstanding. Okay,
so I'm thinking journey, right? And we're talking about heart chakra, love stuff. And if you like, and then we're talking cord cutting. So if you're talking about love, just LOVE, what does that mean to you?
So
People will allow themselves to love or think about love and talk about love, but and I kind of think of agape love.
the blockage or the unconditional love part is the blockage.
I think that the thought that something could be so pure and so accepting without condition, that's a big thing to accept. It's a beautiful thing to accept, but it's a big thing to accept. And I see it a lot, you know, if you don't go down that road and start peeling the layers of that, because that's, to me, that's the root of self-love. You have to love yourself for no reason. So if you can't love yourself for no reason, you're not going to be able to love that partner for no reason. So now you're giving half love, right? But at the end of the day, if you simply can't get past the concept of either unconditional or that you deserve it, right? But if you can't even look down that road because you don't want to deal with it, that blocks a lot of journey.
The conditioned, correct.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to deal with it.
Because
Yeah.
we're putting guardrails on it. You know, it's like, because we're guardrail centric people.
Yeah.
We may go down there, but we're only going to go but so far. And we're not going to go that far left or right, you know? This is something that is the most expansive space I've ever dealt with. You know, the unconditional love is a huge, huge, beautiful, but a huge space. And yeah, it takes complete vulnerability to live there. Because to be fully loved, you have to be willing to be fully hurt.
Yes.
And you're not willing to do that, so you're not going to go down that road. And that honestly also means that you're not going to experience the bounty of that path. Not at this time. But it's like, but why not? It's so beautiful. Come on. But I get it, you know. Trauma-based responses, I get it. But I always want to just plant that seed and let them walk away with it. Like there's a lot of beauty down that path. It may look prickly in the beginning, but there's a lot there. And you deserve it. Yeah, I think my guides are happy with that. They weren't letting me let that alone. So
yeah.
I'm just like, okay, we're going to fight for it. Okay.
Yep. Because essentially, like now I comprehend what you were saying, but I guess the way that you were saying it the first couple times, I misunderstood. I thought you know, like it's crazy, like you're saying, essentially, there is no absolute. There is no absolute. There is no fucking absolute because you still
it's only open.
Even though you can do something unconditionally, you still have to condition yourself to walk away from it. You need another lesson to learn. And that's the part where it's like letting it go
Let it
with
be.
love.
Yeah.
Let it be unconditional love and let it go with love. So you don't block yourself and saying, well, I'm going to stay here a little bit longer because I've learned to love this unconditionally. Like,
it's
I've
still
learned
flowing.
to tolerate it conditionally, you know, but essentially start blocking the other lessons from coming in because that's holding space there when you need something to break down into unconditional love. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
For
all these
real.
paths have lessons on them, right? So you're basically saying, okay, I totally don't want anything coming out of that path. I don't even want to look at it. It's like, whoa, really? There's cheesecake on that path. You know, like, what?
Just walk to Brooklyn for that bad ass cheesecake for P. Diddy. They're too young for it, but if you are, you're gonna find out the grown folk over here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I put that plate down.
Oh man. What was it? You still did not answer what was on the plate.
Oh, I didn't know I was asked. It must have dropped out. It was stir fry. It was rice. I did rice this morning and, you know, teriyaki vegetables and whatnot. Yeah, I did it. I had it going this morning all day. So it was just perfect when I closed the shop and came in. And then I'm like, oh shit, my girl's doing it live. All right, let's work it out. There's no such thing as time. We'll do it all together. Yeah. It was
yummy.
So it was kind of
It was kind of What?
This discussion was much more tasty. Oh my God.
Oh man. Nah, thank you. Yeah. So feel free to like, I don't know if y'all want me to pull a card for y'all, I could, or if y'all just want to like flow out with what we had here, or if y'all want to jump into another conversation, like what I'm flowing with, whatever the flow is right now. So yeah, I'm gonna close my ears. I'm gonna count to 10 in my head, and I'm gonna let y'all discuss, and then I'm gonna come back.
We have so many cards and they were just delicious. I'm happy with them.
Yeah.
Because if she pull a patience card, I'm going to fight. So I don't want to see nobody pulling that card for me today.
Yep. Just
No
we're gonna fold.
Yeah. Oh,
We
going to
got,
fold.
it was what it was.
Was what it was.
All right. Got permission to upload this live?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I'm gonna tag both of y'all in it. So before we go, I want y'all to let the people know we should have did this in the beginning, right? But we saved the best things for last, so it's okay. You know what I'm saying? If you made it this with champ, you know, you riding with the real ones. You made it down the flow and you about to hit your mark and like really make sure you add them because these are the resources that you're gonna add to your tool belt, okay, for what you're building moving forward. And I would love you two beautiful goddesses to introduce yourselves, who you are, what do you have a business, do you have a brand, what it is that you got going on, whatever you want to share. The floor is yours. So whoever wants to go first.
Hi, I'm Etha, CEO of Lovebug Gift Shop. I make crystals, earrings, chokers, bracelets, etc. I will be expanding and making more items, furniture, clothing, self-help books, taking it one step at a time. Come to my page. If you like to support the page, go ahead, support. Like the page. Turn on your notifications. So when I do upload, you'll be able to get a notification to see what items I have posted, what items I have available. That's all for now.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. See, we need to talk because so my name, Jaqua Carr. My personal Instagram is shamanic_sage. And I do have a business called Sublime Journey LLC, metaphysical self-healing retail store. It's one of them is in South Carolina, Gaffney, South Carolina. And the other one is in the Bay out here in Fremont, California, in the Niles District. Where Charlie Chaplin filmed his black and white movies. But yeah, so I'm always looking for artisans that are making things of high vibration that I can sell. So now I want to talk to you, do that after. But, yes. But yeah, just really my whole deal here at all is just showing people that journey is as easy as breathing, honestly. You know, this is how we do it. If you have questions, we'll talk about it. You don't feel like you have support, well, now you do. It's just called reaching out to me. But, you know, Consciousness Collective Outpost, that each location of my store, that's what it is. It's a beacon, a light, and you can go in there and you can be safe to explore, ask questions, or just breathe and be in your body. And I sell tools as well. But it's really about community and making sure that we are connected and that we hold the space for those that are trying to get in the boat.
Yes.
If you have I'm gonna throw you off the boat, and then I'm gonna jump in afterwards and get you.
Look, somebody gotta go.
Try.
We'll jump in and get them. You know, some people need a little lesson, but you know, we'll go put them.
That's. And then you're gonna have to like do a hand gesture to let me know that you dying and not holding your breath longer.
Oh, that's a whole different level about prolonging journey, because you want to ... because there's all kinds of ...
Yeah. Joking tonight, obviously, it was one of those nights that this is what needed to come out,
What
and
was
so
in
did
the
the
cup?
joke.
Coquito?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
Come on, mama.
It was so yummy too. Um,
look good
so
there in the beginning.
I'm formerly known as Angelic Soul 11, but it's Goddess switching the code right now. You already know. So if you haven't already, please like, share, comment, follow all of us, subscribe, all that goodness. Let us know if there was any gems that really resonated with you, or even if you disagreed to anything that we had to say. I like all of it. And yeah, be sure to follow us all. And I thank you all for your time, energy, and attention. May you all have a good night that is serving the highest good. Until next time, peace, love, and
Ashe.
Hey.